Welcome everybody, Steve here. Well, the bathroom renovation's coming along. Now we're on the vanity and it's time to put a backsplash up. And today, that's what we're gonna do. But we're gonna get started on it today. Now, I'm going simple. I like white tile. It's timeless and really it's the most inexpensive way of going. I just finished my tub surround. I'll show you that in a second. And you know, white goes with any color. You're not going to date yourself sometime down the road. So I think it's the way to go. And you know, this isn't a high-end build, so I don't need some Italian fancy tile or anything like that. I just want simple. And basically these are the ends, you know, the leftovers that I had when I did this round. There are different types that you can buy, different sizes. I wanted something a little bit more beefier, so I went with an 8 by 3.5 is what I chose. And I've got a mirror here, so I can't really go bigger than 3.5, but that's okay. You can buy 6 by 3s. That's fine too. But just forewarning, if you're working in a bathroom, you know, walls are really never that straight. The bigger the tile you go, the harder it is for you to tile it. Simply because, you know, there's going to be some rocking. And you can even see right here, the wall isn't really that straight. But let's get started. First step, we got to cut this, and I'm going to show you how you do that. I've cut my trim here. Now I cut it on a 45 because we're going to go 45 in the corner, but that's just kind of a gauge. You know, you're never too sure if this is going to be perfectly 90. You may have to adjust this, and you saw that I used a sander on that. It's easy to do. If you don't have any of that and those fancy tools, you know, when I'm at a client's place and I don't have all that stuff, you can use a grinder if you're really good with a grinder, or a lot of times I just use a file and just take your time. Now, doing a nice job on your joints, you're going to see this every day. And I've seen people where they'll take a notch and then they bend this. That is just so unprofessional. It looks horrible. And it's going to be there forever until you renovate again. So do a nice job. It doesn't take that much effort. So basically, just going to run in there like that. See how this is going to look here. That 45 on both those looks pretty darn good. In fact, it looks really, really good. So I'm happy with that. Now all I have to do is cut this to length. Now, some people also just cut it square and go square to square. That's up to you. But I really like the craftsmanship of a 45. I think it just looks sexier. So to get the length that I want, it's pretty simple. You just got to decide where you want to end your tile. Just going to set it up here and then just eyeball it. I got, you know, you can start to see where the radius starts to come down. So I want to be right about here. Now this one here gets cut on a 45 this way because our down piece is going to be on a 45. So we'll take that in the shop, give it a cut. This one here, we'll cut it just so that we're right on the edge here. This one here, I may just bring it out just a hair more and then fine tune this one, just so that we're right on the edge. This is my leftover piece here. I'm just cutting 45s. So I'll cut 45 on each end and then I'll just cut to length. I just eyeball it. You make that cut enough, you get a pretty good idea where 45 is. And now we'll just go tune it up on the sander. Now this is going to be my little down piece here. And I've tuned up the edges with the sander. And I'll see if I need any more tuning here. Now it's a lot easier doing this in the shop than it is on the wall. So to see how your how everything looks. Pretty happy with that one. Now we'll just check the other one. This one needs a little bit more tuning. That's looking really good. Took me a couple tries, but I got her. Time for installation. Got all of our pieces cut, fitting nice. Now, I glue my pieces on. I glue all my trim. It just makes it so much nicer. You know, you come in, everything's in one place. It's not going to move around on you, and all you have to do is tile. Takes the number of brain cells that you need to fire from here down to there. So, couple ways of gluing this on. I've used construction adhesive, you know, premium, PL premium. That works really good. But lately, I've been using this. It's a Schluter Curdy Fix, they call it. It's a silicone adhesive. And man, I tell you what, this stuff is really, really nice. It sticks really well. And I used it to put the little niche in the tub surround. And all you do is just apply a little bit, and then we're going to set her into place, and then I'm just going to screw it into place to hold it. And that's all there is to it. And when it's all dry, you take the screws out, start tying. So we might as well just get at her. So I try and stay away from the outside. See that? Just already got a little bit on there. That way it'll never ever get onto your paint. You just want to hold this stuff up there. You're going to have to kind of be patient. You know, you don't need a whole bunch. Just a little dab will do you. Have some paper towel kicking around. Okay, I just got a little bit on my finger here. I'm just going to wipe that off. Just going to stick a tile up. And this will be a good start. Got a little bit come out on this top piece here. It wasn't the best installation, but it'll do. I'm just going to push it into the corner. It's good there. So now all I have to do is just put a couple screws in, and I always put it into a spot where I've got a little bit of room to wiggle this if I have to go up or down. Now you're just holding this in, you know, being in drywall is going to be fine. It's not going to hurt nothing. Okay, that's going to hold her there for now. This piece goes on here. Just like that. That's looking really nice. I think we have to bring this one in just a hair on the bottom. I think we're going to have to come in. I'm going to have to move this screw. Didn't give myself enough room. Right there. What I'm going to do is just bring this tile over to make sure that we're squarish. This needs to come in. Oh. So let me get that down there. That looks pretty good right there. Just going to put one more screw in here. Give myself a little room. I know what some of you are saying, you know, oh, you should have put a level on that. Well, the problem with that is then you're cutting your tiles to fit, and that might actually take your eye more than just following what the counter is. Now if you're doing a shower where there's more than a few rows and your eye is going to pick up on all that stuff, then you know, being level is important. But I think for just a vanity, I'm pretty happy the way it is. Screws, some of these screws have got some glue in them. Used them a few times. Looks like it's going to have to come up a little bit. We'll see. Yeah, quite a bit. Give myself enough room there. Now, any of the excess, just use your finger and flatten it out, because you don't want your tiles to be riding on any glue. This stuff is pretty tough. You have to cut it out, man. I tell you, that's a lot of work. Trim's all in. To me, once that job's done, it just seems like the tile job's done, because the rest of it is just fun and easy to do. So I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. I'm going to let this sit overnight. It'll set up, and we won't have any issues now when it comes to tiling, because that trim's never going to move. See you in the morning. Time to start tiling. So our trim is all set up. Just have to take out these screws here. Now from here on it's pretty simple. I got my tiles cut. I still have to cut the end ones, but I always start with a full one on the outside, simply because you usually have something over here blocking this. So you know your vision's going to go to here and here, so you want your full tile to be over there. Now if you're really, you know, you had something really fancy, you would start in the middle, work your way so that you're even on both sides. But then you got a cut edge over here, and these tiles got a little bit of a round edge. Much nicer finish. Much nicer. Okay. I got a little bit of glue left in this one. Now, you got this little lip right here on the trim. So, on your tile, you know, everyone thinks that you just put a little thin coat like this on. Nah, it doesn't work that way. Put a thin coat where the trim is, and then you've got to go a little thicker for down over here. Give her a little tap, just kind of brings up a couple little mountains there. And then what I do on every tile. Put it in. And I pull it out. And I look and I see that I haven't got any adhesion here and none over here. So I add a little bit more glue. Now you don't have to have glue everywhere, you know, you just hold the tile up, but you want pretty good adhesion. So you can see that I got pretty good coverage now. That tile's never coming off. And then you just set it. If you want, you can wiggle it. Perfect. On to the next. Hopefully I have enough glue here. I got another one. So I'm just using this is a Mappy Type 1. You don't have to, for this stuff here, you don't have to use a mortar or anything like that. Which is nice, it's really convenient, you don't have to mix nothing. And I am using a slotted little spatula here. Now one of the things, some people, they will, you know, let's say you're doing this whole wall, they'll put the adhesion on the wall and then put your tile on. What happens if the phone rings? So I just do one tile at a time. Simple. And then I've got these little spacers here. You can eye it up, but a spacer is kind of nice because it kind of helps hold everything in place. I'm just going to give that a wiggle. Now, what I normally do is, if your wall is going to be crooked, your tile might not set perfectly because, you know, if there's a bit of a bow right here, it's going to be pushing out on the sides. So what I like to do is just push your tile up against this one and see how it fits. Now for some reason, this one here, I got a bit of a bow and I'm not meeting up with this guy. So all I'm going to do is add just a little bit more glue. Oh, I'm going to get some more glue here. Now of course this all hinges on how good of a job you really want to do. We're just going to add just a little bit more glue on this one side. Bring this tile up just a hair more. Nice and flush. I can bring it out now, put my spacer in. My gap here, I'm a little tighter up here than I am down here. This tile here, it could be that I got a bit of a slope in my countertop, or it could be just slightly out on my cut on my tile. And that happens when you use a saw. And then all I'll do is just take a piece of masking tape and just stick it underneath here. That's my spacer right there. Perfect. Alright, we're going to silicone this. I'll just continue on until we get close to the corner. Time to do some cutting. Now this one here, this is going to be my first one. It doesn't really have to be, actually, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'll probably do this one first. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of room because the other tile is going to cover it up anyway. Don't forget your gap. So if I did 4.5, that should be pretty good. Measure on that side. 4.5. Here's my square. Alright, let's go out and cut that. Perfect. Last piece. I really like using the wet saw to cut these. Of course, if you don't have one of those, you can use a a tile cutter. You can rent one. But I really like the saw. I think it does a nicer job. A little less stress. Okay, need some more on the bottom. Wall's a little crooked, I can see that. Once you get going on all this stuff, you'll start to notice stuff. You're going, oh, okay, I just need to do this, this, and this. And you'll make it work. That's nice. Got a nice cut here. Good there. It's nice. A little bit more inside. Done. We're going to leave this overnight, and in the morning, we're ready to grow.